What is going on, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. I want to give my thoughts real quick of Davante Adams' post-game speech after the Steelers game, and we're going to play the clips from Davante Adams, hear what he had to say, hear about what Aaron Rodgers had to say, and I want to share my thoughts because this is really important. This is like one of the most groundbreaking things I've seen from the Jets in weeks because I think it's coming to light of what the actual issue is, and the fact that we have a player in Davante Adams who just got traded here feeling like he has to speak his mind, even though he's been there for 5 days leading up into that game. And apparently he had a post-game speech that was phenomenal. Now, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, this speech is going to change everything. We're going to start winning now because of what Davante Adams said. That's not my point. My point is, it's pretty darn cool that we have a player like the stature of Davante Adams, a superstar wide receiver that he's been in terms of his career, coming here, recognizing there's an issue here, and having the ability to feel comfortable enough to step up and speak after getting their teeth kicked in on Sunday Night Football. Hearing what Rodgers had to say about it was interesting. Hearing Adams talk about it was interesting. So let's play the clip. I first want to show you guys what Rodgers had to say about what Davante Adams had to say, and then we're going to hear from Davante Adams himself. So here's Aaron Rodgers speaking about his thoughts of what Davante Adams said.
I thought it was the realest speech I'd ever heard in a locker room in 20 years.
Is that surprising? You know, very
Not
well,
surprising
right?
at all.
But he's only been there for 5 days. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you
Like,
mentioned that. I mean,
yeah.
he led with that. He
Yeah.
led with that, which I think was important. But there's just certain guys over the years that are, I don't even know what adjective to use is better than this one, but they're just real guys. And when they speak up, you feel it. And I was kind of looking at him when Brick was talking, and Brick was saying some great stuff too, and he's been fantastic. But I just could feel like, oh, Tay's about to say something, you know, and then he started talking, and everybody that was in that locker room felt it. So I drove home with him after the game and just told him how proud I am of what he said in that moment.
So hearing Rodgers speak about that, you can tell that meant a lot to him to have, his buddy Davante come here and kind of wake up the guys. And we're going to hear from what Davante had to say to the media, kind of referencing what he spoke about in the post-game press conference. But folks, this is not only good for the team, but it's good for us fans just to realize what the actual issue is with this team. So let's hear from Davante Adams himself about what he felt like was wrong with the team and why he spoke up.
You compelled to stand up and say something. If you can just take us back to a little bit of what you said.
It's not really my personality to see something that's not right and to just let it go on, regardless of whether it's from the coaches, players, management, support staff, whoever. So obviously it was a lack of energy and urgency out there, and it was apparent, especially coming from, I've played on teams that have that winning culture, and just basically I just took a moment to let them know, I had reservations about speaking up too early and being too vocal too early, but I felt like, in my mind I said F that because I need to, we don't have time, and I got to do whatever I got to do to help this team move forward. And lacking energy, I mean, that's a prerequisite to be able to go out there and have a good year or have a good play or, whatever it is. So in my mind, it was something that I wouldn't have been able to sleep if I didn't speak up on it. And, I got a lot of good feedback, which it wasn't a big rah-rah thing. It was just more, to bring awareness to it, because a lot of these guys in here haven't been anywhere else where they've won and, have had that urgency that it takes in order to be a good team. So, this team being so talented on the, roster-wise, it's just a waste to have everybody out there and, to have a dead sideline like that. Brees catch a ball and go 60, and we can't feed off none of the energy, and those type of plays are supposed to be contagious for the rest of the team. So that's basically what I saw and what I told him is a thing. I'm not here to be the savior. Everybody was looking, the whole world. Trump was at the game. I don't know if that's because of me or not, but I mean, everybody's sitting here expecting it to be, me go out there and put up 200 yards and 3 tugs. But that's a storybook ending to it, and obviously that would have been amazing if that happened. But I'm here to help shift this culture more than anything. I can go out there and make the plays that I can make and try to, influence guys, as much as I can. But I'm trying to, enforce a winning mindset on these guys. And if you don't have, the energy, which is the least you got to have. I mean, you only get 17 games. We can talk like that's a lot of games or not, but I also said to him, this ain't baseball. We got a few opportunities to come out here, show what we work on, all the crazy blood, sweat, and tears we put into this, and to have only 17 ops and to come out flat like that and essentially give away a game, that's unacceptable. So just trying to bring a different type of swag and culture in here.
So I really think this is exactly what this Jets team needed. Now, again, I want to stress the fact that I'm not here telling you guys, like, yeah, Davante Adams' speech is going to spark a 10-game winning streak. Not what I'm saying. But what this does do is it freaking wakes up this team. And I also want to say it's pathetic in the first place that Davante Adams had to speak, because that tells you how bad things really are. That tells you that there is a lack of urgency, because think of it from Davante's perspective real quick. This is an outsider who was not with this team in training camp, not with the team in the offseason. All right? He just came here, and the first game, he's noticing this. Davante's sitting back like, damn, there's no sense of urgency. There's no energy, right? He mentioned when Breece Hall had that 57-yard run, the sideline had no, energy around that to kind of spark. That's a play where there should be momentum now on our side, and it kind of really makes you realize, yeah, no wonder why the Jets lost the way that they did when Rodgers threw that interception. There was no momentum. There was no, accountability on that sideline. And the fact that we have Davante Adams being able to have confidence in himself to step up and speak to a team that he just got there. And if you're a Jets player, you're looking at Davante Adams, who is a, superstar receiver coming here. I would listen to what this guy has to say. He knows what it takes to be a great receiver. He knows what it takes to win football games. And if there's no leadership on this team, you could argue, where's Rodgers with this speech, right? Where's the head coach with this speech? We don't have one. We got an interim head coach in Jeff Olbrich. I think this is a wake-up call, and I just got to give a lot of respect to Davante Adams, because he did not need to do this. He could have been sitting there thinking to himself, dang, I came here, and this team is trash, and what am I going to do about it? I'm just here to collect my check, and now I'm a Jet. He could have done that, but he actually is taking on a role here that I think could potentially spark something, because there needs to be a sense of accountability within this team where someone needs to wake them up to the realization, yeah, there's an issue here. I think everybody in the team knows there's an issue, but they're ignorant to think about what it is. They need to celebrate each other, and I think that's what Davante Adams' message is that there's a lack of energy, a lack of sense of urgency, and when there's a play that happens, the whole team should be celebrating it. Go up to the player and pat them on the helmet. Spark some type of momentum. Even if it's a small 10-yard reception, go up to the player and be hyped. If a defense makes a play, the offensive sideline should be hyped up. If the offensive, perspective, Breece Hall gets a 60-yard play, the defense and the sideline should be riled up. And that's not the case. So I think it's refreshing that we have somebody, Davante Adams, come here and have that type of speech. And I think that could spiral something. So I just wanted to make this video because I thought it was really interesting to hear that Davante Adams had a speech that was that impressive to Aaron Rodgers in particular, and he's taking on this leadership role, because it does feel like there's a lack of leadership on this team. We fired the leader of this team, who obviously wasn't leading the team properly, in Robert Saleh, and I have a theory that really impacted the whole dynamic of the team. I guarantee you there was players that hated Saleh, wanted him fired. I guarantee you there was players that loved Saleh and hated that he was fired. That probably made some type of divide. And it feels like there's a lack of confidence in the team, a lack of belief in the team, and it feels like this squad is giving up. And kudos to Davante Adams to come in here and recognizing it right away. He's like, yo, this is bad. I got to speak up. So salute to you, Davante. I have no idea if this is going to help us do anything good this season. That's not the point of the video. I think it just brings to light what the serious issues are with this New York Jets team, and Davante Adams brought it to light, and I salute to him for doing that, because he did not need to do it, but he did. So Jets fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed, and we'll see if this can be the turning stone or something, but there's a big issue in this Jets roster. A big issue with the Jets players, big issue with the Jets organization in totality. This isn't shocking news. I'm not saying anything you guys don't already know, but it's interesting to hear Davante come here and just bring it to light, because I love everything he's saying. Somebody needs to come speak the truth, okay? Because we've been hearing just, positive, everything's going to be fine. It's earlier in the season. That's what Saleh did, right? He just yeah, everything's fine. We're going to figure something out. It's refreshing to have an outsider get plugged into the team and realize the issue immediately. All right, so that's my thoughts. Share your thoughts. Hit the like button. And let's go Jets. Let's go Jets. Jets, 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 Jets. Can I get that in the chat? We'll see.